"What's in a name?" she says, and then she sighs, and clasps her little hands and rolls her eyes. "A rose," she says, "be any other name would smell the same." "Oh, wherefore art you Romeo, young sir? Chuck your old pot and change your moniker." Doreen and me, we been to see a show, the swell $2 touch, Bong Tong, you know. A chair apiece with velvet on the seat, a slap-up treat. The dreamers writ be Shakespeare years ago, 'bout a barmy goat called Romeo. "Lady, be yonder moon, I swear," says he. And then he climbs up on the balcony, and there they smooch a treat with pretty words, like two lovebirds. I nudge Doreen, she whispers, "Ain't it grand?" Her eyes is shining, and I squeeze her hand. "What's in a name?" she says. "'Struth, I dunno. Billow is just as good as Romeo. She may be Julia or Juliet. He loves her yet. If she's the tart he wants, then she's his queen. Names never count, but I like Doreen. A sweeter, dearer sound I never heard. There's music hangs around that little word, Doreen. But what was this I started to say? About the play? I'm off me beat, but when a bloke's in love, his thoughts turn her way like omen dove. This Romeo, he's lurking with a crew, a dead tough crowd of crooks called Montague. His cleaners push what's nicknamed Capulet. They has 'em set. Fair narcs they are, just like them backstreet cliques, except they fight with skewers 'stead of bricks. What's in a name? What's in the string of words? They scraps in all Verona with their swords, and never give a bloke a stray dog's chance, and that's romance. But when they deal it out with bricks and boots and little Lun, they're low, degraded brutes. What's just plain Stoush with us right here today is valor if you're fur enough away. Sometimes some writer bloke will do the trick with Ginger Mick of Spadger's Lane. He'll be a Romeo when he's been dead 500 years or so. Fair Juliet, she gives her boy the tip. Says she, "Don't sling that crowd of mine no lip, and if you run agin a Capulet, just do a get." He swears he's done with lash, he'll chuck it clean, same as I done when I first met Doreen. They smooch some more at that. Strikes me blue, it give me Joes to sit and watch them two. He'd break away and start to say goodbye, and then she'd sigh, "Oh, Romeo," and get a stranglehold, and hang around him like she feared he'd bolt. Next day's these words is gospel Cove about a secret wedding, and they plan it out. He spouts a piece about how he's bewitched, then they get hitched. Now here's the place where I fair get the pip. She is for keeps, and yet he lets her slip. But he makes me sick a fair gazob. He's just the glossy on the soulful sob. He sighs and spruik and owl a lovesick vow, the silly cow. But when he's got her spliced and on the straight, he cruels the pitch and tries to kid its fate. Fate me foot insipid of slopin' soon. How was he wed off in an honeymoon? I'm in his cobber called Mick Curio. They have to go and mix it with that push of Capulets. They look for trouble, and it's what they gets. A tug named Tybalt, cousin to the skirt, sprags them and makes a start to sling off dirt. Next minute there's a real old ding-dong go, off round or so. Mick Curio, he gets it in the neck. Rats, he says, and passes in his check. Quite natural Romeo gets wet as well. "It's me or you," he owls and with a yell, plunks Tybalt through the gizzard with his sword. How I encored. "Put in the boot," I says, "put in the boot." "Hush," says Doreen. "Shame," says some silly coot. Then Romeo, he don't know what to do. The cops get busy like they always do, and nose around until he gets blue fun and does a bunk. They want his tart to wed some other guy. Strike, she says, "I wish that I could die." Now, this here gospel bloke's a fair shrewd Ed. Says he, "I'll dope you so they think you're dead." I tips he was cunning sort what knew a thing or two. She takes his knockout drops up in her room. They think she snuffed and plant her in her tomb. Then things get mixed up a treat and start to whirl. Here's Romeo coming back and finds his girl tucked in her little coffin cold and stiff, and in a jiff he swallows Lysol, throws a fancy fit, out of a turkey, and his soul is flit. Then Juliet wakes up and sees him there, turns on the waterworks, and tears her air. "Dear love," she says, "I cannot live alone." And with a moan, she grabs his pocket knife and ends her cares. "Peanuts or lollies?" says a boy upstairs.